Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Montina Nicole, and on this channel I do vlogs, all things beauty, fashion, and lifestyle. So this is my everyday makeup tutorial, and it is going to be super beginner friendly and all affordable products. So if that's something you're interested in, please stay tuned. So the first thing that I do is I fill out my brows. I am using this Faced Brow Gel in the shade dark brown. I usually use a pencil to fill in my brows, but I found that this one is so much easier to use, and it's definitely beginner friendly. So if you don't know how to shade your brows in, I think that this will definitely work for you, or any other brow gel that you can find with a brush. I think that will work. And also, I will be listing all the products that I use down below in the description box just for your reference. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I'm using the camo concealer in the shade Deep Olive just to give my brows some shape. So I usually just go under the brow to shape it out with a flat brush. This brush is from Morphe, and I'll actually leave the details down in the description box for this brush. I like the flat brush because it helps with clean lines. And usually what I do is I start at the top and I make my way down the lid by basically just patting that on the lid. You don't want to swipe it, you want to pat it. And I do the same thing that I do on this side on the other side. After I spread the concealer over the lid, I like to take this dense, fluffy brush and buff the concealer out just to make it smooth. And then I'm going to go in with a setting powder. I usually like to use a setting powder that I'm going to use all over my face, or a bronzer, just to go in there and set that concealer, because you don't want any creasing or any. So now I'm going to go on the top of my brows and start to give that shape also. I like to use a darker concealer for this one, something closer to my foundation, but not too dark. So I use the camo concealer in the shade Deep Cinnamon just to shape the top of the brows off. You use a dark concealer because it's easier to blend it with your foundation. like to do this because I like a little bit more definition in my arch. So I just go in and add like a sharper arch with a dark brown eyeliner. So now you're just going to take that same fluffy brush and just buff out the concealer and clean up the middle. So this isn't a necessary step either, but right now I'm just applying eyeliner. And I do recommend, if you are a beginner, you use an eyeliner with this kind of tip. It's very easy to use and it's not so messy. So I already moisturized my face and now I'm just applying primer. If you didn't know, primer is definitely a necessary step in your makeup routine because primer sets the makeup in place and it helps it grip to your skin. So now I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me foundation in the shade Mocha, and I'm just applying it with a flat foundation brush just because the foundation doesn't have a pump or anything. So this foundation does provide a full coverage. So if you're not a full coverage girl, I would recommend a skin tint. But me, I'm a full coverage kind of girl. So I'm just using my flat foundation brush to buff that out. I pat it. I pat it. You don't swipe. Do not swipe any of your makeup. Always pat it because it gives it that flawless skin-like airbrush. So I'm just patting, and I bring it down to my neck just for a smooth transition between my neck and my face. So now moving on to highlight, I use the same concealer, the camo concealer in the shade Deep Cinnamon, and I just highlight my under eye area, my nose, my cupid's bow, my chin, and my forehead. I come back in with the lighter concealer just for my under eye because I like a bright under eye. So now it's time to buff the concealer out. Two things I recommend: that you use a wet beauty blender and also you let the concealer dry down a little bit to where it gets a little tacky because it's easier to spread it out and give you that coverage that you need, especially eliminates creasing also. now that I have the concealer blended, I am going to set it with setting powder. I am using the Juvia's Place I Am Magic setting powder in the shade Gobi to set all the areas that I apply concealer to. You can do this by using a beauty blender or a brush, and you just want to press the setting powder into the concealer, and this eliminates creasing, especially under your eye. Now that we have our concealer set, I'm going to start contouring. So I'm going to use the black Opal cream foundation, and then anything that you use cream for, you want to set it with a powder. So I'm going to use the black Opal powder foundation in the shade Ebony Brown. The shade was discontinued, but they do have a shade that's similar to it. And then after I finish setting that, so next step is to contour my nose. I usually don't contour my nose, but for the sake of this video, I did it anyway. So when contouring the nose, you just want to make sure that it's blended because you don't want any harsh lines. You just want everything to flow together. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just making sure everything flows together. I just do that by starting at the brow bone and bringing it down to the bridge of my nose. Y'all, I'm over here dying because I just remember why I was looking like that. I was tickling my own nose. The next step that I like to do, I like to go in with a bronzer, and I just use the Juvia's Place bronzer palette in the shade Dark. Bronzer is used just to bring warmth back into your face. So at this point, I'm just making sure that everything is blended well together and no harsh lines and everything. It just looks seamless. So that's just what I'm doing. So this step isn't necessary, but me, I'm just extra and I just want everything to look snatched. So I'm just using my setting powder to do a little reverse contouring, and I'm just patting that in just to make it look good and blend together. I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that. So here I'm just using that same brush to go in and make sure all the powder that I just added is blending well with everything else. So this wouldn't be a makeup tutorial without the blush, honey. So I'm adding the Juvia's Place blush from the Saharan Blush Palette Volume 2. And I'm using the color B, which is like this purple pinkish color. And I just think purple pinkish blush just looks so good on melanated skin. Huh. I like to add my blush with a big fluffy brush. It just does something to the cheeks. And if you do get this palette, it is very pigmented. So I would just say be careful when applying the blush. But me, I'm extra. And I don't know why I can't say blush. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Tell the makeup police on on TikTok, don't fight me, but I still use highlight. And I'm just applying a little bit to on top of the blush to give it some shimmer, and then I'm gonna add a little bit to the tip of my nose and in the bridge of my nose, and I think my cupid's bow. I still use highlight. I like highlight. I'm just gonna say that. And with the small brush, I just added a little bit to the corner of my eyes. Wait, y'all, can we just take a moment and admire that shimmer? Mm, 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 mm. So right here, I'm just gonna apply lashes. You can stop here and just apply mascara, but today I wanted to wear lashes, so I'm just using the glue that's made like eyeliner, and I just apply it to my lash line, and I let it get tacky, and I just pop your lashes right on. It's like so simple, so easy. And I apply mascara to darken up my lashes a little bit. In this video, I struggled with my lashes, but it's usually so much easier. But I don't know what was happening this time. Yeah. But I recommend if you are new to lashes to use this kind of glue. It's a lot easier and less mess. So I like to set my face before I do my lips. So I'm just spraying the NYX matte setting spray all over my face. Y'all, that lash, it just was giving me problems. I had to go back and fix it. I just was like, what is happening today? Like, you just want to mess up for no reason. Like, like what's the problem? Like, what's the beef? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Ooh, child, I never thought we'd make it to this point. We did, but we did. So I'm just lining my lips now with the NYX Suede lip liner in the color Club Hopper. So y'all, let me tell y'all a trick that a hack. I guess it's a hack that I do. Um, well, I don't think it's a hack. Everything can be a hack. But so I overline my lips. If you don't want to go get no lip fillers, just overline them lips, honey. But I overline my lips just for fuller lips. No shade to the girls that do get lip fillers. So right here, I use the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams in the shade Milan and Estebal. I really didn't like it, so I ended up changing it to something more simple. I thought it was too glam for this look. just adding a little mascara to my bottom lashes. So here is where I ended up changing my lip color. So right now I'm just adding a little bit more liner, and I'm going to go in with the NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Ginger Snap. I like this one so much better. This is the final look. I think it came out great. Let me know in the comments if y'all want more videos like this. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks so much for watching.
Oh, hey, oh, yeah, me telling. About your style, never small.